This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
And welcome once again to the Jesse Kalsi radio show here on the X-Zone Broadcast Network. My name is Rob McConnell. And Jesse Kalsi is a world-renowned numerologist who specializes in residential and business numerology and provides valuable insights onto the power of numbers and how they affect our lives. In his book, The Power of House Numbers, he combines his Eastern upbringing with his Western experience to bring awareness and understanding of this phenomenon. Jesse Kalsi, how are you, my friend? How are things in your neck of the woods way in California?
Yeah, great, Rob. It's good here. I'm blessed to be in this part of the world. It's beautiful. Yeah.
All right, Jesse. Last week we talked about different parts of numerology. We talked about you, your expertise, and I over the past week, I've had a number of ideas that I'd like to share with you, and I'd like to get your opinion. Numbers, the world is a binary system as far as I understand it. There's basically 0 and 1. Which are the two rudimentary numbers when it comes to computers or anything else, like, 0, 1, binary. Then you've got, in what we call our world, up, down, in, out, right, left, black, white, good, bad, heaven, hell, and so on. Does this play any significance into the way that you, as a numerologist, look at certain things and use the mathematical equations and your expertise as an astrologer to combine both numerology and astrology to get an idea and to help your clients?
Oh, that's a great question, Rob. Now, see, I don't use it that way, the yin and the yang, the black and the white.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that 0 by itself, 0 is an amplifier. So if 0 comes in, say, for example, 100 or 10, so it amplifies the energy of the initial planet. So, for example, in this case, we talked about 0 and 1 being binary numbers. So 0, I use it as an amplifier, and number 1 has the energy of a sun. So,
okay.
So that's how I use them.
Now, what about, people have favorite numbers. Like my favorite number is 227. It's always been in my life. I'm a number 7 myself. And we talked about this last week. But in today's age of personalization, if somebody wanted to enhance themselves, could they get a personalized license plate number?
Oh, absolutely. It's so common with my clients, but I had so many of them, use personalized license numbers. So, I have had, just like I said earlier, many. I had this one attorney actually, and she used to, work in my office, out of my office for many years, and I remember she was having all kinds of challenges. So then one day she picked up this nice car, and for some reason she asked my advice on the numbers, and so I remember the number was JL and a 24, which worked really well for her with the color of the car. But yes, I believe, and I absolutely believe that the energy, the numbers on the cars, it are very, very important to drive to attract the right frequency when you're driving. Because see, our phone rings when we drive our cars too,
right?
And the color outside is so crucial and so important. It's just very interesting. I'll tell you one very interesting that happened very recently here. I mean, it's not a very good example, but I can tell you what happened. There was this one gentleman here. He's here locally here in the Bay Area. He's an astrologer, and he's been in that business for a very, very long time. And then just this last week, someone calls me and tells me, "Hey, do you know what happened happened to so and so? I said, I don't know what happened to so and so. And then it was in the news, right? I mean, this man is driving a black car with the four other people, and by the way, those people had come from Vancouver. They were here,
Right.
And 5 people in a car, including the astrologer, and it was a black car on this is last Tuesday actually, on Highway 99, get crushed under a truck, and they were gone within seconds. You don't even. It was like ashes in no time.
Wow.
So, but yeah, so when I saw that color, that the color of the car, I'm sure it must have worked for some, but not for all. And the timing and right after the eclipse, right, and that was kind of. But my first reaction was the color of the car and the day sort of numbers. So that is how serious this business of numbers is, right? It's very, very serious, very serious.
So can you actually help people decide what the best color of their car is as well?
Oh yeah. I do it all the time. I have people who, my clients, they buy cars and they call me from these parking lots all the time.
Right.
I have a different color. Yeah, it's very, very common. I do it all the time. And then private license plate numbers. I do this all the time as well.
All right, Jess, stand by. You and I have to take our first commercial break. X-Zone Broadcast Network. This is the Jesse Kalsi Radio Show. And if you'd like more information on Jesse, visit his website at jessekalsi.com. That's JESSEKALSI.com. And you can also go to Jesse's website and order your edition of Jesse's book, The Power of Home Numbers. Jesse Kalsi and I will return on the other side of this break as we continue here on the X-Zone Broadcast Network. Don't go away.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365. Welcome back. Over the past 15 years, Jesse Kalsi has consulted thousands of people and affected their lives in a positive manner. Jesse's clients include prominent business people and extremely successful communication and entertainment companies. Jesse Kalsi has appeared on many radio and television shows in the United States, and his unique perspective on numerology has amazed his audience. For more information about Jesse Kalsi, or to get Jesse's latest book, The Power of Home Numbers, I should say, visit www.jessekalsi.com. So, Jesse, how do you come up with the proper license plate number or the proper personalized plate for a person who comes to you and who's seeking your advice on how to make the numbers in their life work for them?
Yeah. So what I do is that is looking at your date of birth is what is the basic print.
Hmm.
So from the date of birth, we pick the best numbers, the best vibrations, and then we use those numbers on license plates. Now this last person I talked about was this attorney I was telling you who I consulted for her
Right.
license plate. And she had I remember she was October the 17th was her date of, I mean, and I wouldn't remember the year, but that was the day she was born.
Right.
And then if you look at that energy, right, she had a lot of Venus energy on her basic chart too. So the energy of 17 in October, the month has a little bit of Saturn energy. It also has a little bit of Venus energy. But 17 by itself, with the 1 and the 7 there, which is Sun and Neptune, right, is it comes in it comes in the delayed energy. So to balance that frequency, the best numbers would be like a number 1 or a number 5 or a number 6. And then we'd also have to consider her residence as well. So then I suggested that she get a number 24 or a 204, or that energy with Moon and Uranus, to work with her date of birth. And then so the plate that she got was JL, and then she got 204. So that's what I mean. She was lucky that time, but if someone goes to the DMV today and asks for that number, I'm sure they won't get it. But it worked. But it worked magically for her. She's really, really happy, and the energy did really well. And I remember why, because she had bought this car just after she had totaled the first one, and she's surprised at what happened. And I remember the day she had met with an accident right here in Alameda, and her friend, who was also a lawyer, was kind of very confused as well. So and that's how I came into the picture. But it all worked out really well after that, when she bought this new car and a new license plate.
All right, we've got the license plate, but tell me how you come up with the color.
All right, colors. So now colors, so numbers and colors also have an association. Now, say for example, the number 8. So number 8 has the energy of planet Saturn, and Saturn likes dark black colors. Now Mars, number 9, like we all know, likes the color red. Or Venus, which is number 6, is more into white and blue, that shade. Or say 5, which is Mercury, is more green. Or 3, which is Jupiter, is the highest chakra energy. You go with more violet, purple, that kind of energy, or even a bit of yellow. So that's how that works, and so that's how we had. I remember that the card that she got was like a Montreal blue color, and it was a darker blue. And also then again, going deeper into this, dark blue is the color of the sixth chakra as well. The sixth chakra is our intuition, and there are many other things that people do to improve the sixth chakra too, besides wearing colors to match that chakra energy, or maybe driving a car to match that energy. But then that color also has to match your basic frequency, which is your numbers. So that's how we pick him up. But typically, so if one has a lot of Mars energy, say for example me, I have a lot of Mars energy, and I wouldn't go and drive a red car really. I would balance it a bit more with the darker blues. I like the throat chakra and higher, that kind of energy, So those colors would balance well with the energy of Mars.
So you could never be a fireman because the fire trucks are red.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, I understand that, Jess. Now, as I understand it, your numerology is based on your birthday, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what happens in a case? I understand about the license plate. I understand about the color. I understand about the significance in numbers in your life and how there are certain ways to change certain numbers. But what about the most important number in anyone's life, and that is their social security number?
Oh, that's an excellent question. Now, social is something, right, which is your karma, really. When social security number matters, it absolutely matters.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely matters. But you have to just sit with it, right? You can do nothing about it.
Right.
You can't patch. You can do nothing. That's your number. Stay with it. But there's something about the social security number too. I believe some years ago, the Social Security Administration, I think they've discontinued issuing 666 somewhere in those numbers as well.
Right.
And you know that, right?
I believe so. But what is the stigma behind 666? Is it really the mark of the devil? And yet there are certain Asian cultures who say the number 666 is a very lucky number.
Well, you see now, of course, the Bible, the Holy Bible has a mention of this. We all
Right.
know that. And then, see, 666 by itself, so Venus three times, right? Venus three times uh, is too much sugar, right? It doesn't work.
Mm.
It doesn't work.
So what do you do?
Well, if you have a 666 or on a social security number, you can do nothing. You can do nothing. Yeah, you just can't do nothing. You have to, that is basically, it's your number. You have to live with it. But then, like I said, if your name is fine tuned with the right numerology, if you have a strong name, that name can overpower the effects of a weaker social security number. If your house has the right energy, that can overpower that effect, right? So and then if you have the right kind of energy, like if your chakras are kind of balanced, with different things, and there are many things that people do to balance chakras or clear chakras all the time. That also, in many ways would balance the chakras. So using numbers in different ways to overpower that bit of that energy is always very beneficial.
You were talking about the Bible. We were talking about 666. You brought in the Bible. The number 10 in the 10 Commandments, besides it being 5 commandments on each tablet, is there any other significance that you believe as an astronumerologist that the number 10 of the 10 Commandments had a specific or more special meaning?
See, that 10 by itself is interesting. When we started this conversation today, we talked about 0 and 1,
Yes.
like binary numbers, and come back to 10 now. It's very interesting. So now, see, 10 by itself, like I said earlier, 1 is the energy of the sun and 0 is an amplifier. So that's how it comes together. Now, number 10 is the energy of sun, sun amplified. It's really strong. Like 10 Downing Street,
Yes.
it's the Prime Minister's house. Or we had one like this in India as well. It was not 1. I think it was number 1, where the Prime Minister lived for a long, long time. And then earlier I've suggested in a video as well, that the White House changed from 16 to 19. So it's that kind of a higher octave of that 10 energy too. Now 10 by itself, I mean, it's been behind many jersey numbers too. Many famous players have won that number 10. But 10 amplified sun will only work with you if it is working with your date of birth, right? So that's how it goes. If someone has a lot of sun, so sun and sun together, say for example, if you have a sun date of birth, say, which is a number 28 or a 19 or a 1 or something like that, that 1 will amplify. Or if there's a couple, one's born on a 10 or one is on a 19, even depending on how their planetary energy is, there'll still be a lot of attraction. They'll be very lucky together. They'll have their issues, but they'll rise together. So that's how it goes. And but like I said earlier, it has to basically flow with your frequency to get the best out of the number 10. But number 10 is a very, very powerful number. Very powerful number.
What about that other famous number, 13? Friday the 13th, the 12 apostles and Jesus Christ. And the other, negativity around number 13, like a lot of buildings don't have a 13th floor. Is that just superstition, or is there something to it?
See, now that's kind of very interesting. In China, I believe, China or in many parts of India as well, they don't have a 13th floor anymore. The number 4 is not used behind cars in China and many other places. And so 13, if you look at 13 by itself, 13 has the energy of 1 and 3, which is the energy of Sun and Jupiter. Now, Sun and Jupiter basically are 2 very powerful planets together. And so it's like, having 2 captains on one ship, right? Very, very powerful. Yeah. And so so 13 can work magically for someone going back to a number 10. So if you have a 10 date of birth, and if you are living in a house number 13, right, you will never have a problem if you are by yourself. But family members, it's a different story. And I have seen people win elections with a number 13 with a 10 date of birth. The reason being that number 1 and number 4, Sun, Uranus are like mirror images, they complement each other very, very powerfully. So otherwise, if you live in a house number 13, 103, 130, or that kind of a vibration, right? And if you don't have enough sun energy on your date of birth to support that number, it's guaranteed, I can tell you with my experience, that you're going to have financial problems, you're going to have serious health problems coming from the back door. I've seen this all the time. People who got some serious health issues coming from the back door. So so that's how it is. But to connect the two, I mean, this is a very, very. I like the questions you asked, Rob. They're very intelligent. I mean, you're so intelligent anyway. The 10 and the 13 connect so beautifully. It's absolutely. That's a great question.
Now, yesterday was September the 11th, and we all remember that fateful day of September the 11th, 2001, the attack on America. When you, as an astronumerologist, look at September 11, 2001, or what would it be, 9/11/2001? What do you see? Was there anything in that date that should have raised red flags?
Yeah. You know what? I'll tell you honestly what happened on that day. Well, I was here in the United States, and it's very interestingly, a year earlier on the same day, my daughter was born.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah, but I can tell you something now. She just got full scholarship, and she's attending St. Mary's College right here in Moraga, California.
Fantastic.
So she's absolutely brilliant, right?
Takes after her mom and dad. There you go.
Oh,
genetics.
Thank you. Yeah. So and then I remember the day, and so she was born in 1999, September 11, and then the following year, so me and my wife, but she's born and raised here, my wife, and so we wanted to go and get a cake from a bakery here. So then I went inside. So I asked the lady, I said, you know what? I'm not sure. It's my daughter's birthday today, and it's just the first anniversary of 9/11, and I'm very unsure. And is it okay? Can I order a cake here? So she looked at my face. So she's absolutely, I remember that I was so nervous to even ask, the bakery to make a cake for my daughter's birthday. But then going back to your question, right?
Yes.
11, 11, sun twice, right? Sun twice has, it's a master number. You all know that, right? It's a master number. We all know that. And such huge energies basically come in with Mars, because this is, it's more the energy of Mars, right? Mars,
right.
With such huge explosions happening, is not Saturn. It's the energy of Mars, and so that's what I feel. I mean, I've really never looked back at those numbers and ever calculated them, but I do feel that the energy of Mars was very intense that day.
All right, stand by, Jesse. We've got to take our news break at the bottom of the hour. To all the listeners of the X-Zone Broadcast Network, Jesse Kalsi is his name. His website is jessekalsi.com, and you're listening to the Jesse Kalsi Radio Show right here on the X-Zone Broadcast Network. Don't go away.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
And welcome back to the Jesse Kalsi Radio Show on the X-Zone Broadcast Network and our family of broadcast affiliates right around the world. In fact, if you are one of the more than 7 million people who downloaded the August edition of the X Chronicles newspaper, you just have to go and look for Jesse's ad. His website is jessekalsi.com, and he's the author of The Power of Home Numbers. And Jesse is a world-renowned numerologist. He specializes in residential and business numerology and provides valuable insights on the power of numbers and how they affect our lives. Now, like I said in his book, The Power of Home Numbers, he combines his Eastern upbringing with his Western experience to bring awareness and understanding of this phenomena. Jesse is a successful real estate broker by trade. He is also a certified Federal Aviation Administration flight instructor, and holds a commercial pilot's license. He received his bachelor's degree in India and holds an LLM in International Legal Studies from Golden Gate University in San Francisco, California. Jesse graduated from the National Defense Academy of India and pursued advanced studies in Indian Military Academy. He served as a captain in the 1st Battalion, 3rd Gurkha Rifles, formerly the Queen's Own. Intending to devote his life to military affairs, Jesse left the Army when he was informed of his true purpose while posted at the Jammu-Kashmir. Is that how you say it, Jesse?
That's correct.
Jammu-Kashmir frontier. Originally, he came to the United States to learn to fly, but eventually returned here to make his home in California. And once again, his website is www.jessekalsi.com. That's JESSEKALSI.com. Jesse, a number that a lot of people around the world have reported seeing is 1111.
Yes, that's true.
What is your take on the 1111 phenomenon?
So 1111 for me is again. It's again the harmony with one's basic numerology. Now, so I remember I had this one lady here, and she is from Winnipeg, from Canada too. She's married here, and so she had come one time to see me, and an exact, very similar question. So he asked me what you asked me now, 1111, and we looked at her date of birth with April the 25th. I remember. I mean, she had a lot of connection with 1111, and so each time she saw that number, as it, many people say it opens the doors. You can make a wish, and other things that I've heard and read as well. But how I connect it is this: that if that energy of 1111 connects with your birthday, it's a good sign. It's a sign. It's a sign that some door is opening. It's a sign that some good thing is going to happen. So that's how I look at it, and so that's what I told her. I said, so each time you see that 1111, something positive happens, or something, your phone rings, or some energy like that. And so she agreed totally. She absolutely agreed. But then that doesn't mean that 1111, if I see it, the same thing happens to me. No, because that energy wouldn't that never connected with my date of birth. So that's how I look at it.
Now I understand the number 9 in the Chinese culture is a bad luck number, and yet in other cultures the number 9 is a very strong number. So who makes the decision on what is a good number and what is a bad number?
9 is, if you ask me, as in numbers, as whatever little I know, what I can tell you, that number 9 is a very, very powerful number, and there's nothing wrong with the number 9. Number 9 will work. It doesn't work with everybody, but whoever it works with, it works magically. Again, it has to flow with your date of birth to get the best out of it. All my life, right back from the days to my days in the military to everybody. Number 9 has always been my strength. And it has been my strength all the way. Most important dates of coming to America and important events happening on 9 and repeated like all the time. So honestly, I wouldn't say that any number is bad. They're all good numbers. But the thing is that every number is not good for everybody. That's what it is, right? And then, like you said, the Chinese. The Chinese. I remember this one gentleman here. He's kind of crossed over now. He was Maslinian. He was the one who was behind the BTB, the Buddhist Tibetan something. Sect. I'm sure you would know him too. So they use a lot of 9s in their, a lot of 9 was very prevalent in all his, his layout. I mean, he talked about a number 9 all the time. But then if you see, the Chinese people also like the color red, right? Red is, red is a 9 too, by the way. I mean, that's the number connected with the number red. I mean, that's when they give a gift or any important thing. It's in a little envelope, which is the color red, which is a number 9. And they like, and then they also like 8 for they love the pronunciation number 8. Now, number 8 by itself, it's again a very interesting number. It might on a door on a house number, a number 8. If it doesn't work with you, you are just blocked. I can tell you. But 8 on a life path is a completely different story. If you wear a blue sapphire, which is also a number 8. it's a different story. But if it doesn't work with you, it's basically it's the sixth chakra, and it's the color is blue, right? That's how it goes. So it's all kind of connected in a very interesting and a very mysterious way. So all numbers are good, but all numbers are not good for everybody. So that's the answer.
When deciding where to, let's say, to build a new business or to where to build your new house, you and I have talked about the numbers, the civic relationship to the numbers. But what about the lines of longitude and latitude? Do these come into play as well?
Yes, I mean, yeah, you asked me this question in our last interview as well.
Right.
Yeah, you know what? I need to research this a little more.
Okay.
But I'm sure they do. But I would not be able to give you the right answer on this one, because I'm not very sure myself.
Now you're a real savvy guy when it comes to numbers. In fact, in my opinion, you are the leading expert when it comes to numbers and how numbers play in your life. Let's say Jesse Kalsi goes to American Airlines counter to get a ticket to fly from San Francisco to New York. Jesse looks at the flight number. Is there any flight number that you would find on a ticket that you would say, I'll take the next flight?
You know what? A number 108 or a 18, something like that would definitely be a no. Even a 113, 130, or even a flight number 160, I would make me very uncomfortable.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
It's just those planetary vibrations, right? I mean, and these numbers have never worked with me personally.
Okay.
Now you'll say, well, I said number 9, but then I'm saying the 108. But see, the thing is, because 108, 1s and 8s, and that combination of planetary energy is just very explosive. It's a very negative Mars energy. If anything can go wrong, it'll, there's a strong possibility it will. Now, ones and threes, again, 103, 1 and 3 are two captains. This energy, it's not the best. It's not the best, and it doesn't flow with me very well. Again, the 1-6, Sun and Venus together is also another number that. What makes me very uncomfortable. I think it might be great for other people. I never say that, but
right.
But not for me. Yeah,
that's because other people don't have your date of birth.
Exactly. Yes.
Exactly, and it's all a matter of numbers. You told us about the lawyer that you helped to get a personalized license plate. What are some of the other success stories that you can share with us tonight, Jesse?
Oh, they are. Actually, I've met with so many people over the years that. There's so many people over the years that it's just kind of, it smutters all up. I've worked with many young people, many young people who have become who have passed their medical schools and all that right from the beginning, right from before even they went to medical college and they were not sure, am I a taxi driver or am I a doctor? It's like, there's been a lot of, there's a lot of peer pressure, especially in the East Indian community, where parents would just push their kids. No, you have to be a doctor. No, you have to be this. And I remember this one kid who had come to see me many years ago, and even before he went to med school, right? So we were looking at his numbers, and I said, yeah, your energy will draw you in that direction. And I remember, and then he had to go spend 90 days in Florida to go through a probation, and then from there he went to the Caribbeans, and then for those 4 years, when he called me hundreds of times with cluster headache, and I can't pass this, and I'm going to fail this and that. But it's kind of with time gradually, and with his energy, he kind of came out of the whole thing. And so there are many like that. There are many stories like that. There are many famous people here in Los Angeles who I've changed their names, and I wouldn't, it's kind of confidential information.
Sure,
I couldn't give you their names, but they have changed their names, and then the careers, were just kind of took off. They've done so well.
Really?
Yeah, they've done really well. I had this one very famous celebrity, very, very famous. I wouldn't mention her name either. She is on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and I remember I met her in a setting in Malibu one time, and I gave her my book, talked about her house number and all, and then a few weeks later, I read in a magazine that she had moved from that house to. So a lot of that has happened too, and Yeah, so I'm very grateful. Whoever's come in contact has benefited in some way. So yeah.
In your opinion, as an expert, do more men come and see you, or do more ladies?
Oh, it's women, more
Really?
ladies. Yeah, they're
Well,
always more women. Yeah, ladies. Yeah,
why do you think that is, Jesse?
I think that ladies are more. I think they're more intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're. Um, I think it's the intuition, right? They're very intuitive and they're looking for answers. They're trying to help their family in one way or the other, and uh, yeah, that's what I think. I've had, I remember this one gentleman calling me. He was an actor in Hollywood too, and suddenly he called me one evening. I can't give his name either. I remember he was stuck in a house in Venice Beach or Marina, that area,
Mm-hmm.
and then I spoke to him and I told him what the problem was, and he absolutely agreed. His career was stuck, but he was one of the men. And then there was another gentleman. I remember this. He's a very famous rock band. I won't name that name either. And so that one, and his wife had called me. I remember, very famous people, and he passed away actually. And this is a house, and so I talked about the house, and I said this house is not good for you. And but she was kind of very concerned. And I remember when I called them, and this gentleman, this famous celebrity, answered the phone, and then he was doing a conference call, and we were all chatting together, and then I remember I asked her the wife to
Mm-hmm.
patch the house, which she did, but then I remember a couple of years ago he crossed over in the same property. I remember, so yeah, but I mean there's some there are few men, but there are more ladies.
Because
That's
ladies,
true, and I feel that yeah.
because ladies are not
Yes.
afraid to say, you know what? I'm going to ask an expert, not like us guys who will have the map right in front of us and we'll say, oh, yeah, this is the way we go. No, no, no. Yeah, I've got the map. I know what I'm doing. Thank God for GPS now in a car.
Yeah.
Jesse, you and I have to take our final break. To all the listeners of the X-Zone Broadcast Network, Jesse Kalsi, www.jessekalsi.com. He's the author of The Power of Home Numbers, and you're listening to the Jesse Kalsi Show right here on the X-Zone Broadcast Network. We'll be back as we wrap up this edition with Mr. Numbers himself, the one and only Jesse Kalsi. Don't go away.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365. And welcome back to the Jesse Kalsi Show. My name is Rob McConnell, and the host of this show is the one and only astro-numerologist himself. In California, Jesse Kalsi, his website is www.jessekalsi.com, and he's the author of The Power of Home Numbers. And Jesse, first of all, it's great working with you. I've had the pleasure of talking to you over the years, but to actually work with you, my friend, well, thank you very much. It's a great pleasure and privilege for me to spend time one-on-one with you because you have so much information. And one of the questions that popped into my little mind as we were doing the commercials, we were talking about how numbers affect each people. We've talked about license plates tonight. We've talked about telephone numbers, social security numbers, the numbers in the Bibles, superstitious numbers. But many cultures around the world today have prearranged marriages. How does numerology work in cultures where prearranged marriages are part of their culture, their lifestyle?
That's another excellent question. Now the system of prearranged marriages, of course, is prevalent. I mean, it's in the Middle East and the Islamic countries, and so is in the part of the world where I was born and raised. Now, see, what happens is I have seen, right, prearranged marriages, right, some work, but the majority, I can tell you, the majority. This is just based on my experience. I mean, I wouldn't say just on my experience only. They have serious, very very serious problems, right? And the women, right? The women have no choice but to just kind of pass their time and just go. So it's more cultural than anything else. But if you look at the flip side too, I have seen lately over the last some years, I come across so many of my younger clients, these young ladies who are right from in their 30s and they step into their 40s and they still can't find the right person. So and then suddenly as they cross a certain number and then they start panicking, right? And the panic. When these marriages happen, like I said earlier, there's more cultural, they're more religious, but do they match? Of course, some might be, from a number perspective, it might work, just might be a fluke, but like I said, the majority of women that I've consulted would have really needed lots of help. Maybe that is one reason when you asked me earlier, who calls you more? So
yes.
The answer was ladies. And so this is directly related to your question as well. A lot of mismatches. So now what really happens is, so now say, for example, right, I mean, if date of births don't match really, right? I mean, there's huge conflict in date of births, completely opposing energies, right?
Right.
Then how can that be improved is the question. I mean, how can we help someone like that? So that can be tweaked, how that can be tweaked besides all the other things, residence and all that, it can be tweaked by your name vibration. Because your name, the energy of your name, right? I mean, what your popular name that is, said in the universe, the way it vibrates, the frequency, right? That definitely overpowers a lot of negativity, a lot of negativity. So that is one big thing I think I know or what I've experienced over the years. Definitely helps overpowering different and difficult marriages, and there are just too many of them.
Jesse, would numerology be of an asset to someone in the human resources department of a large corporation?
Absolutely. It will absolutely be.
To what advantage would numerology help the human resource person, and how would this best help them to better assess the potential of an employee?
So, the thing is this, right? Let's say, for example, we're looking at a tech company, right? There's a tech company right there in Hamilton, Ontario, and they're hiring people, right, for a certain project, right? Now, tech, of course, you have to have the education, the knowledge to apply for that kind of a position.
Yes.
But the thing is this, right? The energy now, what kind of energy has to flow with the name, the energy, the main, the frequency of the business, right? So if the name is, say, for example, Genentech, or just for example,
sure,
that energy, and then the number on the door, the main number on the building, and then the kind of work that they're looking for, So if it's more technical, the energy should have, more Mercury, more Venus,
Mm-hmm.
more analytical numbers in there, right? To better to kind of have a better coordination within the systems of the company, right? So those kinds of numbers and those kind of applicants should be given more priority. And if someone's come in their tech company and say, have some numbers that wouldn't flow well, I'd say like the number, I'll say the number six, maybe six is all right. I'll say more than number two. The number two is the energy of moon. I wouldn't say much for a tech company. I would, again, the energy of Neptune, a number. So I mean, there's so many combinations that have to be seen. Really, it's more like a one-to-one thing. It's more, it's very
Mm-hmm.
specialized. But to answer your question, I think that looking at numbers and the applicants and the position that they're going to fill, numerology would definitely be a benefit for the human resources of a company.
As an author yourself, do you use numerology when you're writing a book? For example, the number of chapters in your book, the number of pages in the book?
Yes, I do. So, see the book that I wrote, The Power of Home Numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It has 21 alphabets, and the total combination numerologically has the energy of Venus, right? So it's the energy of 3 and 6, because that's more compatible to my date of birth,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's how I placed it there. And so if you look at the colors that I placed there too. Now we could maybe talk about colors and chakras and a whole bunch of stuff later in later episodes, but
That sounds like a great
yeah,
idea.
yeah, but those energies definitely, yeah, absolutely.
We've got about 4 minutes left, Jesse, and if here we are at the end of another great hour. We've talked about so many things. What little lesson could you give your listeners tonight that they could apply to their daily lives?
Okay, so so using numbers,
Mm-hmm.
the daily lives. So what I would tell them is this, right? This, it is important to know your basic numbers, right? Your basic numbers. Now, your basic numbers. So now I'll give you my example. My basic numbers are the number 3, 6s, and 9s. These are my best numbers, and these work very well with me. So
Right.
now with 3, 6s, and 9s, so what I really do is, so each day, I would see if it happens to be a 3, 6, or a 9, and then on the days of the week also have numbers with it. Now 3, 6s, and 9s would mean more Thursday, Friday, and so Thursday, Fridays are better days. Tuesday has the energy of number 9, but I wouldn't initiate anything on a Tuesday. I'd focus on more Thursdays and Fridays for important things, buying a car or things like that. Or what I do is, if say for example, today is so today's date, I just add it across, right, and see if that is the total compound. If the total compound is it one of my numbers, right? So I look at it like that as well, and based on that, I decide, well, should I talk to so and so person today, or shall I do this, or shall I just take a break and talk tomorrow? So it's like that, so that's how. So I just look at compatible numbers
Mm-hmm.
and days that work with me, right? Will work with me, and so Thursdays and Fridays we've been having the energy of Jupiter and Venus, which is more 3s and 6s. But like I said earlier, Tuesdays has a number 9, but I wouldn't like to with Mars, so much Mars in the same day, to initiate something new. I wouldn't really do that.
But once again, people have to find out what their numbers are.
Yes, you have to know your
Yeah.
basic print, and then yeah, of course.
And of course, people could contact you through your website at jessekalsi.com to arrange for a one-on-one consultation with you.
Yes.
And you do all the consultations by telephone as well as by Skype?
Yes.
All righty. Jesse, always a great pleasure talking to you. Once again, let your listeners know how they can find out more about you and where they can buy your book.
Okay, so you could always Google my name, Jesse Kalsi, and you can find me very easily. My website is jessekalsi.com. My book, The Power of Home Numbers, is now in its 3rd edition. You could buy it through Amazon or Balboa Press, or you could buy it from any wholesaling outlet as well, or my website, which is jessekalsi.com.
As well as you've got a lot of videos on YouTube.
Yes, I have. Yes, exactly. I have some videos as well.
And all they have to do is go to the, how would they find your videos? Just by Googling your name and...
Yes, just Google my name; they'll find him right away.
Jesse, always a great pleasure working with you. What are you going to be doing in the next little while? Are you going to be doing any lectures, any seminars? Are you going to be writing a new book? What are you up to?
Yeah, number three, I'm working on some more books, and I have to, I have to be busy this coming month. I have an event in Hollywood.
Wow.
And yeah, I have an event in Hollywood, and so we've created some new videos for some different celebrities. So my agent there, she insisted that she talk about all those videos like a few days before the event, which is going to happen next month. And yeah, I'm excited about that. But yes, my focus is more on my books, my more writing.
Anyway, Jesse, it's time that you and I must say so long for another week. Jesse, I look forward to working with you again next week as between the two of us, we let the world know about numbers, the importance of numbers, their numbers. And once again, if you'd like to find out more about Jesse Kalsi, www.jessekalsi.com. I'm Rob McConnell for Jesse Kalsi, and you've been listening to us around the world on the X-Zone Broadcast Network. Have a great week, everyone, and keep your numbers where you can see them and know your numbers.